Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Dice, aka Dyson.
I've got your scent, Batman. I will hunt you down.
Anyways, we got Bane versus Killer Croc. So without further ado, let's get it. A brand new versus video. Let's go. So yeah, Bane is of course barely even identifiable as a human. He is a living tank. He's basically a super soldier, a hulking brute which uses this venom super soldier-like serum to enhance his performance as a fighter and as a villain. Now, of course, Bane himself is actually a very skilled and powerful fighter even without the venom. But with the venom, he's a metahuman. In fact, above your average metahuman. Bane was, of course, a man who had to live in prison since he was a child, a literal child serving the life sentence of his father. Brings new meaning to sins of the father, huh? But anyway, yeah, Bane can lift up to 3, 4, possibly even 5 tons, and his fighting skill is near unmatched. And we all know he's literally famous for being able to beat down Batman, and not only beat his ass down, but literally break his back over his knee as seen here. Bane isn't some Hulk. He isn't a brainless, mindless brute. He's a very intelligent being who poses just as much of a psychological threat as a physical one. But anyway, the one and only Bane against Killer Croc. Let's get into Killer Croc. So yeah, Killer Croc has definitely changed throughout the years, and there have been many incarnations. Even the Arkham Killer Croc drastically changed, basically constantly evolving over time. Bane's venom may make him much more muscular than any normal human and much taller, standing at around 7 to 8 feet, but Killer Croc was around 6'8" and reached 8'6". And that's in the Arkham games alone, when the version of Killer Croc we'll be using for this fight will be more of a composite version. Killer Croc is around the same level of strength as Bane, although his concrete exact level of strength isn't really known. We don't really know his limits, but we've seen him do things such as lifting around 2 to 3 tons. He also, of course, possesses a crocodilian bite force which can bite through just about anything, including bone, and he's got claws on his hands and feet as well as a long, powerful tail. Killer Croc is a mutant, one with extreme fighting skill and much experience in brutal street fighting. Who will win? Let's find out. Without further ado, fight. Bane confronts Killer Croc as Killer Croc tells him he will be his next meal. Insulted and enraged, Bane walks towards Killer Croc and winds his fist back and goes to swing with much force directly at Killer Croc. He dodges this attack, gripping Bane up, digging his claws into his back as he lifts him off the ground and suplexes him to the ground, shaking the ground beneath. Croc slashes his claws across Bane's chest as he's then kicked in the face, stumbling back. As Bane gets up, they charge at one another, locking fingers. They attempt to force each other back, realizing each other's immense power as they come nearly to a stalemate. Bane hits him 3 times in the face in quick succession before headbutting him and kicking him back. Killer Croc runs forward, turning around, whipping him with his tail. He whizzes, soaring through the air before slamming into a concrete wall, becoming lodged within it as it crumbles down. Bane gets up, lifting up a large piece of rubble and throwing it directly at Killer Croc. He puts his forearm out in front of him, breaking it as chunks of concrete go flying on impact. Croc gets down on all fours and charges at Bane. Bane just mercilessly kicks him in the face. He lunges up, pouncing on Bane, digging his claws deep, very, extremely deep into his chest as he pins him to the ground and slashes his chest open. Bane begins beating his skull in with his right fist before he hits him with a left hook and a right jab straight to his face. He stumbles back. Bane rises to the occasion, getting up, pulling his hunting knife from its sheath as he slashes Killer Croc across his chest and stabs him right in his pec. Croc then dodges a throat-slashing slice from Bane as he's then stabbed in the abdomen and stabbed again in the pec. Bane goes to stab him right in the throat as he catches his hand right by the wrist and breaks it. Bane mercilessly punches Killer Croc in the face over and over and over and over with the other hand before he then knees him in the stomach and then gets his stomach slashed open by Killer Croc. Bane then mega kicks the shit out of Killer Croc in the chest, causing him to go flying back before landing on the ground, his feet sliding behind him as Bane charges and uppercuts the shit out of him. Bane goes to kick Killer Croc again. He dodges out of the way and grabs Bane's leg. He then yanks, dropping him to the ground as he then bashes his face in like a gorilla, slamming his fist over his head. He brutally pounds his chest and face in like an ape before slashing his face open. Bane holds absolutely nothing back, throwing a massive punch directly at the side of Killer Croc's skull. This knocks him right off of him as Bane gets up. And he then charges at Killer Croc, winding his fist back, throwing a super punch as Killer Croc dodges out of the way, gripping him up by the throat. He then impales Bane through the chest with his claws as he pushes his hand directly through his chest, biting down onto his skull and crushing his brain, killing him instantly. Winner, Killer Croc. It's been your boy Dice, and I'm outie.